Hello, here we are. Last day of June already. Good God Almighty. Monday, the 30th of June. Cheers. Coming at you with my routine video making habit. It's the morning of Monday. It's 6:50 in the morning. I guess that's one thing about getting old is that staying up late isn't fun anymore. And getting up early, it's just time to get up. So you get up. And it's often that I'm in bed by 10, sometimes even 9. So what I want to share, first off, is how happy I am for my sister Adrian. She called me last night. So bubbly. Apparently the opening of the exhibit was fantastic. She actually sold some art, which wasn't the purpose, but to have that as a response right away. And these days when all of us regular people are at pains to pay our bills, bravo for Adrian. She made a short little 2-minute video about the opening, and which includes my music, and I'll drop it in right here.
Hi, I'm Adrien Brown, and I'm having a show here at CTN Gallery in Burbank called Art is My Life. The show opens publicly Saturday, June 28th, and I'm showing a combination of my pastels, my fashion art, the monitors will be showing my digital art, so it's just my entire life in art. So I've got a smattering of art from as far back as 1988 pastels up to this year, 2025, where I drew my husband, which is wonderful. And these are some of my favorite pastels. That's my dad right there. I love that one. And some of the newer ones that I've done. And then over here we have Floyd Norman corner, which is kind of nice because it's part of my life. He's an artist, and it's on his animation drawings. And there's a wonderful drawing of Floyd done by our good friend Drew Struzzi. Now, so I also did fashion illustration. I wanted to be a fashion designer, but that didn't work out. So I just would draw fashions that I see in magazines just for fun. And I have so many of them, it's not even funny. But these are some of my favorite ones. So I love these. And then that's a portrait of a friend of mine right there that I did this year in 2025. So here's more of my fashion and more portraits, just fun portraits. These portraits, like this one, these took like a half an hour to draw. I was just flexing, see if I could do something really quick instead of doing something which is more refined like that. And then more of my fashion illustrations. This one is a gouache. My over 30 years of Disney publishing, painting art for Pixar, feature animation, standard characters, Mickey Mouse, princesses, you name it. I've painted everything from Lion King to dinosaurs. I mean, there's nothing that I haven't painted for Disney publishing. And I love painting Tiana. She's my favorite character. And I ended up painting a lot of Tiana books before I retired. So come tomorrow at the opening for my show. I will be here tomorrow, and the show runs until August 16th. I won't be here every day until August 16th, but I will be coming in and out. But please come out and take a look at my art and my over 50 years of drawing. So much art. So please come out and see me.
So yeah, when she called last night, she was exhausted but thrilled. One of the aspects of my sisters in particular and myself is my older brother didn't share this. He wasn't humble. He thought he was the greatest thing, and he is great. But my sister Adrian has always been very humble about her artwork. She's much better than she gives herself credit for. So, and then being married to Floyd Norman, the Disney animator, he didn't overshadow her talent-wise, but his fame and his notoriety as a couple, she was all, she'd be kind of like second fiddle. So to be the focus of attention, she deserved it. She deserved it more. Apparently, the art gallery is not open all the time, and so if you want to go, I think you'll have to call ahead of time. But I think it's open on the weekends. But like if you want to go during the week or something, I think you have to set up an appointment. Cheers to my sister Adrian. Excuse me. So yesterday was kind of fun. I thought about repeating it and going out and grabbing a bunch of records, and I just didn't. I did grab a couple because the main thing I did yesterday was work. Honestly, was work on and off all day. But I did play this all the way through because it had been a long time since I'd played the Adrian Wagner, Distances Between Us. And as I had said yesterday, the vocals on here are really terrible, but there's only 2 vocals and the rest is instrumental, and this is really good. Very imaginative. It's that sort of thing where it's not quite Klaus Schultz. And I have quite a bit of Klaus Schultz back here. I'm not going to grab it today. I thought about doing that. But I thought what I'd do is just show these, because someone mentioned them in the comments yesterday, to show, yes, I absolutely have these. This one goes back to my teen years. Occam Reichel and Machines, Echo. This belonged to my friend Paul Reese. He brought a copy back from Europe. I sincerely doubt that there was ever a copy of this for sale in Omaha. So I lucked out. And this is well played. It's in decent shape, but we got stoned to this album a lot. And it's fantastic. It is. Now, I don't know which one came first, but it really caught my attention, and it's partially why I watch regularly, is when I saw that Michael P. Dawson was the first person besides me that I saw with a copy of this album. And I was like, oh, wow. I mean, this is rare. I've seen other copies since then in music groups where people own copies. But I wanted to show, someone mentioned this, I have it. They also mentioned Gunter Schickert. Well, I have this too, Uberfallig. Used to have an original. I have something else by him, a group GAM or something. I didn't grab it. I didn't think that the idea of grabbing and putting away 2 days in a row, no. But I did think, well, there's all this stuff right here. I can just grab right there. So I will. Like, for example, you can see that right there, right? King Crimson, right? This is all. So that's King Crimson. I'd love to have more. I've got a box set, one of the box sets. Mind-blowing. Well, I'll never forget the first time I saw this record. It scared me. I said, what is that? And the fact that there's no information, it was like it was a mystery. But the first King Crimson album I bought was this one, In the Wake of Poseidon. And I still love it. I still rate it highly. It was like in a way that Robert Fripp was repeating himself as he was trying to figure out what to do next. But well done. So when this came out, Circus, Yeah, and then John Anderson being on there on vocals, what a treat. Um, this one took me a while to get into Islands, but it's great. Lark's Tongue and Aspect. See, these are they were sort of in order. My original, which is Beat to Hell, again because it did a lot of travel. And then this is the these are like remixes. Strawless and Bible Black, Young Person's Guide to King Crimson. Seen King Crimson twice. Met Adrian Ballou, Pat Mastelotto, Trey Gunn. Walked past Robert Fripp. I've told the story. He intimidated me. I didn't know what to say. King Crimson USA. Red Monster album. Yeah, I learned Red. Then these Discipline. Beat, my band Digital Sex. We used to cover Heartbeat. Three of a Perfect Pair. Thrack. The Power to Believe. And the Reconstruction of Light. I'd have more if I could. But also here is on the pop side. I'll just grab these records here. So, my collection really, like most, I shouldn't say most, but the collections are a reflection of the person. So some things can be real like this and other things can be eclectic. My collection is eclectic because that's my interest. So for example, over there, just grabbing them as I show some more prog, because prog is not the primary thing, although it's more prime than, say, for example, someone asked me yesterday if I got into Philly soul in the 70s. Well, I appreciated it, and it's like when you hear the songs on the radio or at a party, of course, it's great music. I appreciate the artistry, but it tripped my trigger. No, it wasn't an interest. I didn't buy Philly soul records at all. Was interested in rock music and electronics and weirdness and just discovering. I want to just again say I credit my father, who his grandfather is white. One of my dad's grandfathers is white. He's Irishman, which means I'm part Irish too. But my dad, because of his experience being light-skinned black, seeing the discrepancy of racism, he wanted to make sure that we kids saw a balanced picture of what life could be like. So we were raised in a mixed neighborhood. And so I assimilated the rock music, all this music, it's mine. I've always found it a little more interesting. So back to what did I pull? This is Katharsis. Suspension of Belief. Small record label RRR Records put this out beginning of the 80s. And haven't played this in a while, but this is like the cover. It's going to be like more in the wheelhouse of something like industrial music and early days of tape manipulation and pre-sampling. That's what this is. Here's one that I bought just as a curiosity. And M. Kawahara and the Exotic Sounds Ecstasy. And it is Japanese. She is nude. This is very kitschy. It's a reissue. It's really kind of something you would put on for a joke, really. And there are the sounds of the fake sex on here, oohs and ahs, really kind of cringeworthy. But that was there to show you. Now, this is a band that's prog but pop also. They went all the way pop. I think they're Dutch, but I really like the band and I like their songs. Kayak. Was just recently watching video and watched a video of them doing the song Chance of a Lifetime in the studio live, and the band cooks. It was a great performance, you know. So that's what I'll share here. Quick aside. Yesterday I did actually play something else. I listened to all of this yesterday. Haustor, Trechi Zvijet. I hope the fellow who gave this to me sees this, because I do appreciate this. And I hear how good of a band they are. It's a good band. The style that they're playing is not what particularly interests me, but I enjoyed this, and I can see why someone would like them. It's good. It's a good band. I want to thank the fella again for sharing it with me. So back to Kayak. Best of Kayak. Chance for a Lifetime. See the Sun. Great songs. This album. The Lovely Luna. That's one of those tracks. It's one of those outstanding tracks. Not the whole track. It actually dips in the middle. They do this middle section, which I'd have kept it out because they were trying to take it someplace. To me, it didn't go. The first part of the song, Lovely Luna, is just fantastic. I love it. Last Encore. Interesting that here's the original version of it on Vertigo, and then they used the same cover in the US for Starlight Dancer, which is a different lineup of songs almost completely. This is a good band if you don't know them. Royal Bed Bouncer. This is one that I was looking for a while. It was the one that, when I got turned on to the band, it was, the one you got to hear is Royal Bed Bouncer. It took me a long time to finally come across a copy. And this is very good. I love it. I love this band. And then here, more on the commercial side, Periscope Life, still very good songwriting and playing. Phantom of the Night. Here's the US version. I keep them both. And then here, I think this is the either UK or Dutch pressing of Royal Bed Bouncer. Completely different cover. Okay. And then what's next on the label on the shelf there? Kebnekaise 3. This is more folk than prog music. I'm pretty sure this is from Sweden. Someone sent this to me because I'd been wanting to have this in my collection. And then, just for contrast, what's the very next thing on the shelf? It's not prog, but it's a great album. Kelela. I know what I like. Raven. This is electronic, but also very sensual, and the words are actually quite personal. Beautiful, clear vinyl. I think she's badass. So, I'm a well-rounded sort of guy, you know. I try to listen to everything. But I'll say this again, this new country music is shit. Can't stand it. Cannot stand it. Okay, so that's what I'll show this morning. I mean, I could keep going. I mean, you know, the next big section over here, right here, is craft work. We got a bunch of craft work. I'm not going to bother right now. So, let me go ahead and stop here because I have to do double duty and edit my sister's little video in here. But let me just check and see if I missed something in the comments. I want to thank you folks for being kind. Haven't had to delete anything in quite a while. Yes, and someone, of course, it's just the way it goes. Someone mentions, I show all those records, and someone has to mention the ones I don't show because I don't have them on vinyl. But Quark and Astounding Sounds by Hawkwind, I would love to own those on vinyl. I accidentally turned the video up, so this is 3-part editing. But just checking. Thank you. Yeah, I know that people enjoyed seeing these records. Yeah, I have most of the gong sitting right there, but I'm not going to grab it. I almost grabbed Camel to make the connection to Richard Sinclair, but I didn't. But I have a bunch of Camel. Maybe again later this week I'll do a big poll. But that's what I have this morning. Talk to you later.